I wasn't expecting Sensitive Society to make a video on a VTuber. This is crazy, dude. We're living in a dystopian world, to be honest, to be seeing Sensitive to Society making a video on a VTuber. But trust me, I've seen parts of this, and I thought this person was unless there's more crazy things from this person. But I'd be curious to see what else he said.
Just when I think I've seen it all, I've heard it all. I mean, I've been doing YouTube full time for about 4 years, 4.5. I truly thought I've seen it all, but no, there's always someone freakier to come along. And guys, we found it. So there's this YouTuber / Twitch streamer who goes by Nyara. I think that's how you pronounce it.
What the hell? Yo, they stole my name, man. Mine is Nyaru. Now they got Nyara. Oh, fuck, man. Now they're going to associate me with this person.
In my opinion, they're legitimately one of the freakiest VTubers out there. Now, for the longest time, I thought VTubers were freaks. I thought they were weirdos. I thought...
Oh, you're going to be surprised on one thing when they speak. That ain't a sister. That ain't no sister.
They were degenerates, but then I realized, oh, that's just a stigma. It's not real. Not every VTuber is a degenerate.
Yeah.
Some of them are chill. I mean, just look at this one right here.
Jump!
Right. There is a boy.
Who's this? Oh, stupid bitch.
As you could see from...
It's always funny every single time when you hear a VTuber almost saying they either say the N-word or almost say the N-word. You know, it's funny. It's always funny to hear an anime girl just saying the word. I just think it's just fucking hilarious, personally. I just find it funny, dude, because it just kind of reminds me of like Call of Duty days. That's the reason why. It's just funny, man. I find it very funny, dude. I don't know. I just kind of find it very hilarious just to see like a cute anime girl just randomly throwing the N-bomb for no apparent reason.
From their videos, they're pretty trans oriented, if you will. What they talk about is trans, which, you know, I don't care. It's your content. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It does become an issue and a little freaky when you want to get kids involved into your world. And before we really get into it, I just want to say this. I don't hate trans people, okay?
Man, even the Void, I'm gonna be honest with you, even the Void has standards and we don't even mess with the younglings. That's crazy to hear that you guys, like, well, not everybody, but like some of you guys like mess with younglings and warp their minds and perspectives about certain things when they don't understand anything. I just can't comprehend how you guys can do that, but us in the Void, we don't even do that. That's crazy.
Don't hate anyone. I only hate people that don't subscribe to my channel and drop a like. That's like my biggest ops. But besides that,
yeah, true. Let literally kids be kids. What happened to the time where kids go out and play, hang out with their friends and do stupid stuff, you know, play video games, you know, play, I don't know, hopscotch, volleyball, fucking hockey or skating on the street or playing basketball or something or football or soccer or whatever, you know, or American football, you know, just like, it's crazy.
Problem with trans individuals. I have no problem with, well, anyone really. Don't care what you are, as long as you're cool and respectful towards me. I'm going to be cool and respectful towards you. Same. Now that we got that out of the way, because I know if this person sees my video, they're going to be like, this guy's transphobic and, you know, all of this to beat the transphobia allegations. This should be a nice introduction to who this individual is. This VTuber has repeatedly shared their desire to groom children. They even think children can consent to life-altering decisions. So where's the backlash from VTubers? This is
what the fuck? Groom kids? Oh no. Oh no. No.
one of their tweets, trans people will never leave kids alone. We want trans kids to be trans and give them the education and care we desperately need when we were younger. You know, we have this amazing YouTube video and thumbnail, leave the kids alone, leave kids alone. And this base Giga Chat responds with no.
Oh, stupid bitch.
Now, because I'm going to get asked this, do I think children, right? Children / kids, do I think children should start transitioning? No, I'm not a fan of that.
No.
I mean, how can you make that decision? How old do you have to be until you drink alcohol? 18, 21? How old do you have to be until you could get a gun? How old do you need to be to start getting tattoos? 18? But you can change your whole gender, or at least start when you're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Really? That's what we're doing? I think that's a bit weird. I don't think we should be allowing kids to do this. How is this person pushing for little kids to start transitioning, altering their whole body, or just because you felt like it that very day? You might change your mind later.
Because the problem is the kids can't consent, and they don't know the consequences of what could affect them in the future, you know? Like, what happens if later on in the future they don't want to do it, but then they've already, like, you know, they've already went through the process and everything. They can't go back, you know? But they don't want to do it anymore. So it's just like, what are you gonna do, you know?
But at that point, it's going to be too late. When you're forcing it upon kids this aggressively, like this YouTuber is, it's weird, it's freaky, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Let them be a kid, let them figure their shit out, and then go from there. If you're an adult and you want to chop your penis and at 4, go crazy, you know? But doing this and enabling this behavior on a child who doesn't know better, who legitimately thinks that they're Spider-Man, do you really want to give that kid full control of everything he could do? It shouldn't be legal. I think that's fucking insane. They also made this certified hood classic. Forcing kids to wait till 18 is a bad thing. So this guy wants every newborn, as soon as they say goo goo gaga, that means I want to change my gender, so, you know, cut my penis off while it's small. This is weird. I'm not here to call this person a pedophile or anything, but I mean, they're not helping. There is more harm done by not allowing a kid who is questioning their gender identity to not explore themselves and get the treatment recommended by experts. Who are the experts? Are you the experts?
The expert should be the parents, not a doctor. Because you want to know the difference? You birthed the child, not the doctor. The doctor didn't birth the child. The mother who is carrying the child birthed it. The doctor is responsible, or these people are responsible to take, you know, to have the delivery, you know, done. Yep, that's true. Kids go through phases of pretending to be a dog. You want to let them choose a gender. Yeah, that's true. Like, they like to pretend to be, like, you know, imaginary, like, whatever shenanigans. You know, they want to be like a monster or something, or they want to be like, I don't know, an attack helicopter. Shit. They want to be a superhero, for God's sakes. You're gonna let a kid who wants to be a superhero, who pretends if they fucking take a bite from a radioactive spider, they're gonna turn into Spider-Man or so. Come on, let's be honest here.
This yapping has definitely made me thirsty. Thank God I have my, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but thank God I have my Advanced GG with me. A powder energy drink that has 0 sugar.
Advanced GG? Whoa, crazy.
Hydration right now with all the yapping that I've been doing. So what if the kid was 7 and, you know, they have an insane, disgusting parent like this individual? They're like, yeah, sweetie, you could transition. And then they're like, well, I don't like it anymore. I was a kid. I do think in 20 to 30 years, we're going to see the fallout of this. And I'm sure a lot of the kids will hate their parents. Why would you let a kid make a life-altering decision like this? Why are you so obsessed with this? All your videos are kids, kids, kids. It's like, bro, chill out. Your hard drive, low-key, might need to be checked at this point. And I think back to when I was a kid, and I'm like, I was so retarded. Well, I still am, but a lot more when I was a kid. Dude, imagine if I had this crazy idea put in me by my mom or my dad, that if I...
That'd be quite curious. Shut up. Yeah, I swear to God, I'm about to yeet you out of here.
I want to be a girl now. I could. And I'm like, okay, I'll just do it. And then many years later, I'm just like, why the fuck did you guys let me do that? I was a child. I did not know better. I was literally a kid eating crayons, eating glue, running around like fucking Naruto. Why would you let me alter my whole body because I felt like it that day? And you didn't want to be a fucking parent and tell me no. Wait, or we'll figure something out. You know what I mean? There's ways to go about it. Like, this is just low-key grooming children into being trans.
Yeah.
A 9-year-old doesn't know shit. A 14-year-old who thinks they know everything, they don't know shit, okay? Let's see what they had to say. I don't want to slander anyone.
This person thinks that minors should be able to consent
to medical treatment. If minors can't consent to HRT, then they can't consent to puberty. How do you not understand the take? Like,
hold up, can we go back a little bit? If minors can't consent to HRT, then they can't consent to puberty? Huh? What? Wait, what? No, not puberty blockers. Just puberty. Just puberty. There's no word puberty blocker in there. Don't try to say something else. It's just puberty. That's it. The normal process of life for every human being. Hey, Lee. Hold on, let me see. What's this person replying to? Keep in mind that Nyara does this under the guise that they had a back childhood, etc. It's just another sick excuse for being a groomer, and I'm tired of pretending that it's not. Interesting.
to HRT, then they can't consent to puberty. How do you not understand the take? Like, what the f is wrong with you? Like, seriously, if they can't consent to HRT, if they can't decide which puberty they want to go through, how do you—
They can't consent to which puberty they want to go through? What? Now, this is why I stoned these kind of people in the olden days. Yeah, that's probably the reason why. I'm trying to understand what they're trying to say, but like my head hurts trying to understand what they're trying to say. Okay, let's let them finish. Let's let them finish.
Do you, like, justify forcing them through puberty?
Now, the tweet...
Wait, hold up. Wait, what? Force? Wait.
Take. Like, what the f is wrong with you? Like, seriously. If they can't consent to HRT, if they can't decide which puberty they want to go through, how do you, like, justify forcing them through puberty?
Now, the...
Because that's part of human nature. It's called evolution. It's called evolving as a species. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, even through the void, we have evolution stages, you know? That's just called evolution. You evolve from an infant, you know, early days, like prepubescent, when
These
like,
hardcore
you know,
trans people always say they had bad childhoods, and the bad childhood was usually, we go to church and don't do drugs.
I don't know about this person. This person didn't say they have a bad childhood. I think one of the clips that I saw before was like, oh yeah, no, I had good parents and stuff like that. But like, do you not understand that like there's the stages of life and like the stages of like evolution, you know? Like if your body stayed as a young child throughout your entire stages of life, you're just a lot weaker. Like you're weaker in so many aspects. You know, there's a lot of negativity with that specific evolution itself. You have to evolve and you adapt. That's just how it is. So the human body adapts and evolves into different stages. Granted, because I'm saying this through, I'm like doing the perspective or so from the void, right? Because the void has, because some of us have different stages in the void. That's why a lot of us have like different stages of like evolution to grow, you know, to grow into the final stages in life, you know. I just don't understand, dude. That makes no sense. But okay, all right, whatever, man.
The tweet they're referring to is this one right here. If minors can't consent to HRT, then they can't consent to puberty. I had to read this like 2 times to make sure my brain wasn't fucking leaking. This person is so fucked up mentally. They're fried. They're like, well, you know, if you can't consent to HRT, then you can't consent to going through puberty. Consent to going through your natural selected puberty is now something that is completely against your will? What is this argument? It's just a non-existent BS argument to compare apples to fucking watermelons. It's not the same thing, okay? With HRT, you're constantly injecting yourself with something to change who you are. And with puberty, it's something that we all go through. Am I supposed to give this person a lesson on puberty? I better be getting paid extra for this, for giving a lecture on puberty. It is not
funny enough about it, you go through another phase of change actually later on in life or so. Your body changes a bit different. My this body of mine has changed differently ever since I've come over to this side of the dimension or so. But apparently when it comes to the voices for guys and girls, apparently it actually changes. So for women, it actually goes a little bit more lower, and for guys, it actually goes a little bit more higher, just like slightly a little bit. You know, there are some guys who have low voices, right? But there are because I looked it up or so, right? I researched it and everything, right? So you actually go through another, one, so.
Same thing, okay? Puberty is something that we all go
but
through.
It's not massive like the puberty stage, right? It's not like puberty itself. Like don't start. I know people in the comment section, like people understand, is like, oh, but don't play smart with me, okay? All right, don't play smart with me. I know how some of you people are, okay?
It's a natural thing. It's just a natural part of life. Why are we having this argument? This is legitimately a non-existent argument, and this person's trying to make it an argument.
It's a minor change. It's nothing like super significant or anything like that, you know?
And the thing, it is not the same thing. What are you on about? You're fucking insane. The amount of mental gymnastics this person had to go through to get to this argument or this conclusion is beyond me. At that point, you might as well make the whole argument that you don't consent to being born and blame your dad for nutting inside your mom and bringing you to life. You are brainwashed. Okay?
True.
I don't know who brainwashed you, but you're fucking retarded. I was willing to be charitable towards you, but you're just weird.
When these people talk about consent, it's always in a gross way. When I, for example, talk about consent, it is to like address the claims of like trans kids don't exist because they are too young to transition and like all these things. They shouldn't have HRT. It's the same with me saying, hey, you know, if a trans kid cannot consent to HRT, then why can they consent to puberty? How does that work? And then it's like, oh, that is so different. That's like lunacy that you even like insinuate that such a thing even like exists. That is crazy. Do normies actually fall for this kids can't consent to trans affirming healthcare argument? I feel like people maybe like in the center.
Yeah, this argument isn't the argument you think it is. You're so fucking weird. I kind of feel like I need to shower after making this video. I gotta keep it real with you guys. Why are we having this argument in the first place? Can you please just leave the fucking kids alone? Let them be kids and then let them figure their shit out later.
Yep.
Why are we forcing this upon them?
Yep.
Once again, this does not come from a political side. I'm not here to push an agenda. I'm just seeing all of this as a normal ass person. How did we get to this point where we want to force transition onto little kids who don't know better, who are barely getting what life is, and you're like, well, you want to change your gender? Let's do it. You know, I support that 1000%. It's one thing to do it as an adult. It's a whole different thing to do it as a little kid when you don't know better. If we're going down this route, you could get a tattoo at any age. You could start drinking at any age. You could start smoking at any age. If a 5-year-old wants some beer and a cigarette, dude, just give it. And if he also wants to get a tattoo that very same day of a fucking Crayola in his forehead, let him. Who cares? And if that very same day he also wants to transition, dude, fuck it. Let's just do it. Fuck it. If we're heading towards that, just let the kid be able to do whatever the fuck he wants. Don't even be a fucking parent. Just let him wander aimlessly throughout the universe. And I found this comment and it says, as a relatively normal trans person just trying to exist in society, it's people like you that really hold us back.
That's so true, man. I feel sorry. I feel like I have trans friends, right? I do have friends that are, you know, that are trans, right? But they're not like this. They're not like that VTuber, okay? They know their boundaries. They know logically like the do's and don'ts, you know? And unfortunately, this subgroup or this group in general is affecting, you know, the trans and the LGBT community and all this other stuff, you know. It just kind of leaves a bad stigmatization on that group, because I have a lot of friends from the LGBT, you know. I do. I really do. They're awesome. They're really great people. They're amazing, you know. I have a lot of friends from there, you know. And it's like, you know, even like here, I'll give you one example, right? Like a long time ago, right? Because because I was like, you know, I have you know, I did VR chat stuff, right? I did VR chat stuff. I have, you know, I do have a VR mom, right? But my VR mom is trans, you know. I didn't really care, you know. I personally didn't really care, because, you know, it's just like, this person is a loving person. You know, she cares about me. Like, she gives me a lot of like motherly like figure vibes, you know. She gave me a lot of she gave me a lot of motherly vibes there. So she gave me a lot of opinions, you know. She gave me a lot of, you know, a lot of things to help me out, to understand things and stuff like that, you know. And I had no problem with it, you know. She was cool, I was cool, we have no problem. I probably would have to say she was probably like one of the, you know, well, besides Mama Azathoth, you know, Mama Azathoth is still the best, but like, she's definitely like a second mom to me. And she was really cool second mom. I'll be honest with you. Like, she was actually a cool second mom. Like, she helped me with a lot of relationship stuff and everything like that. So I'm like, because I can't really go up to Mama Azathoth. Mama Azathoth is like super old, okay? Like, she's like really, really, really old. So she's kind of has the old mentality mindset, right? But like having like quote unquote a second mom or so who is a little bit more in the newer generation, right? Who understands these things, right? Was a little bit of a fresher breath air, you know. It felt nice, you know. It felt nice that I can like tell her certain things or so that I wouldn't want to tell Mama Azathoth about, you know. So it kind of felt pretty nice, right? So like, that's one trans friend, right? That's like one trans friend. I have so many other ones too as well. Like, I have no problem whatsoever with them. The problem is with these people who have this type of mentality, who affect those people that literally are just trying to live a normal life. You know, they're just trying to live a normal life. They just want to fit in society, you know. But then like the problem is you have these loco people, los pinche pendejos de locos de la cabeza, nombre. Like, you know, these guys who really affect the LGBT community in a really bad way, you know. And there's a lot of hate towards the LGBT, you know. There's actually just straight up some like hate towards it because of that, you know. Yeah, like, I don't know, it's just like it sucks. And like, it generally sucks. Literally, it always is a couple of bad eggs to ruin it for everyone else. That's just how it is, especially in the VTuber community. There's a lot of good majority. There's a lot of good actual VTubers in the VTuber community, but then you have all these bad people who join the VTuber community because of the popularity. But then unfortunately, they're not really great people. So it kind of ruins it for everyone else and puts a bad image on the whole entire community itself. And, you know, it's just, that's just how it is. Those people are crazy and they paint the rest of them as crazy. It's like seeing a drunk Russian and assuming that all of them are alcoholics or Irish. They'd be creating bad stereotypes. Yeah, it's just bad. It's just really, really bad overall. Like, I have trans friends, you know, I have friends who are part of the LGBT community, but they don't act or think this way. Especially this one VTuber here, you know.
This person is just making trans people look horrible and like creeps when that is not the case. There's cool trans people out there.
Yeah.
There's trans people out there that are just trying to live their lives.
Yep.
But it's these type of individuals
exactly
that fuck it up for everyone else. I found this comment as well. As a trans myself, I don't agree that children should transition. Children are by default not smart enough yet to make their own decisions, let alone know what those decisions even led to. A random kid at 13 or younger shouldn't be thinking about this type of stuff, which I agree with. Puberty is a natural
yeah, man, they shouldn't be thinking about that. They should be playing Call of Duty and dropping N-bombs left and right, you know. That's where I see most of the kids back then. They were all dropping slurs back then or so. That's how it was and you know, we always call them squeakers at the end of the day, but you know, but that's how it was. That's how it was back then, okay? All right, don't blame me, okay? All right, I just grew up in the environment, okay?
Progression of things. It exists for a reason. Now, this is someone responding to them on Twitter, and they say, sorry, I'm a leftist, but I still think that the risk of infertility when it comes to HRT and puberty blockers is too big of a risk to give to teenagers.
Yep.
Let them go to therapy for short, but no HRT before 18. I think that's a valid take. This person is delusional. This person should never be taken seriously.
Because a lot of these things that they are saying.
Wait. This person has 13K subscribers, I see.
Person is delusional. This person should
I was just wanting to know. I thought it was like 130,000, you know, subscribers or something. I'd be like, whoa, damn, this person is actually, speaking of which, actually, I'm not here trying to gloat or anything like that, but let's take a look real quick. Let's do a little bit of research on their YouTube or their Twitch channel. Let's take a look. Let's just take a look real quick. 7.1k followers. Okay, so this person definitely is a pretty big VTuber, I'll be honest with you. They have merch. They have from Uwu Market. Yeah, this person's definitely a lot bigger than I am, I'll be honest with you. They may be bigger on me on Twitch. But
why is a cis kid?
But I think we're bigger than them, I think. Probably not, actually. This person might have beaten me, actually. No. This person has more subscribers than I do. But by 400, though. By 400. But we'll definitely beat them, I'll be honest with you. We'll definitely outpace them 1000%.
Taken seriously.
Because a lot of these things that they are saying are there from a fake point of like compassion. We don't hate trans people. We just want kids to make the right decisions. Love how this pretends to be shocked.
I guess it's wrong and you're insane and transphobic if you don't want little kids to start transitioning. The thing with these people is they only see black and white. That's all they know. That's all they see. And life isn't black and white. I wish it was that simple, okay? But it is not.
Yeah.
And you're potentially harming the child a lot more when you enable his 7-year-old fucking thinking. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say. This person, please check their hard drive. The amount of times they talk about kids on their Twitter and YouTube is a bit sus. I'm not here to call him a pedophile or anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Very
yeah.
interesting. To say the least.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm out. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and I'll see you next time. All right.
Yeah. No. At the end of the day, it's pretty bad. I'll be honest with you. This is definitely not great. This is a pretty bad move in general to do. But hey, you know what? Hey man, that VTuber can do what they want with their career at the end of the day. It's their career, right? Who am I to say at the end of the day? Right, chat? Who am I to say? Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about what do you think about this guy? Yeah, make sure you say bye to the YouTube frogs, of course. Honestly, leave kids alone. Let kids be kids at the end of the day. So, yeah. Just leave them alone, bro. Just leave them alone. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And peace.